I'm kind of shocked at how little response there has been from the church. I even phoned one of the local churches the other day, and the pastor just told me he didn't want to speak to me.
This is Josh Alexander, a grade 11 student in Ontario, Canada. On February the 6th, he was arrested and charged with trespassing on school grounds. At the root of this escalation is Josh's opinion, and more appropriately, his religious belief, that humans are only male or female, that sex is not changeable, and that those born male should not use the girls' washroom. Josh expressed this belief back in November 2022 during an open classroom discussion in which students were encouraged to share their opinions on the topics of gender dysphoria and bathroom use. Speaking to a reporter, he said, quote, "Some of the class discussions we had were completely inappropriate. I would actually be rebuked for calling them out on it." In a separate interview, Josh details how things unfolded.
Female students addressed me about this, and they complained and said that there's male students that are using male washrooms. And I took it to the administrators after having quite a heated class debate about it, where both staff and students were kind of shouting me down. So I took it to the administrative level, and they told me that my concerns wouldn't be legitimized until I brought in a female student who expressed the same ones. So I actually found a female student that was brave enough to speak out, even under all that pressure, and she came with me to the office. However, they still refused to take any action. So I decided to edit a video, put out a poster, and stage another walkout.
Thereafter, on November the 25th, he spoke at a student-led rally, calling for the principal to acknowledge the girls' concerns and keep males out of female bathrooms. Have a listen.
This rally is about keeping males out of female washrooms. That is a perverted idea, and it needs to end. Unfortunately, it's happening inside those doors right now. As female students have complained about this, the school refuses to take action. I have decided to take action. Thank you all for joining me.
I know there's a lot of misinformation posted online that this was the anti-trans rally. That's not the case. We just simply want male students removed from the female washrooms.
In response, Josh was promptly suspended and not permitted to return since, according to the school leadership, his continued attendance would be detrimental to the physical and mental well-being of transgender students. However, the real reason is that the school does not want to deal with a human rights lawsuit. In advance of the rally, the school posted a statement reassuring parents that their policies adhere to the Ontario Human Rights Code. On the topic of washroom use, the Ontario Human Rights Commission outlines in Section 13.4.1 that such facilities can be restricted to persons of the same sex for the sake of public decency. But this raises an important question. What happens when the majority of the public normalizes indecent behavior and sexual confusion? Well, the Commission's position is stated in the same section, quote, "Trans people have the right to access these facilities based on their lived gender identity. A trans person who identifies and lives as a woman should have access to the women's washrooms and change rooms," end quote. As shocking as this is, there is a bigger elephant in the room. Josh goes to St. Joseph's, a Catholic high school. If we go to the Catholic Church's official webpage, Vatican.va, we come across a document called the Catechism of the Catholic Church. The aim of this catechism is to present the fundamental contents of Catholic doctrine as regards both faith and morals. In Article 6, Section 1, which is titled, "Male and Female He Created Them," in line 2334, it states, "In creating male and female, God gives man and woman an equal personal dignity." The following line adds, "Each of the two sexes is an image of the power and tenderness of God, with equal dignity though in a different way." However, when Josh expressed this Catholic belief, the Catholic school decided to banish him, rather than uphold a fundamental doctrine of Catholicism. Considering that it is also illegal to discriminate against a person based on his religious beliefs, the Catholic school essentially chose a side contrary to its name. It trampled upon Catholic doctrine and Josh's right to freely express his religion in order to defend the right of washroom selection. You'd think the Catholic diocese would be all over this, but in reality, their silence is deafening.
If I was a member of the Catholic Church, I'd be completely embarrassed by the actions of the school now that they're claiming they're Catholic. And it's kind of disappointing to see the lack of response from the local Catholic Church.
If you enjoyed this content, be sure to subscribe and visit our channel for more videos on The Second Perspective.